In 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
And both of our runners will be off to the races. Of course, Container Ride, it's a very rudimentary map. I mean, it is largely the same through every run. There's a couple of optimization strategies, such as you do have to step on that button to make sure that door will open when you want it to, because there is a little bit of a delay when you just put the cube on it. But it just looks for something to stand on it. Of course, Jellybra bunny hopping through the rooms. I will explain more about bunny hopping in chapter 4 when we have more bunny hopping intensive maps. Foxer electing to bunny hop only some of the time through Portal Carousel as Jellybra comes right out. Like here. Fox's timer is cropped correctly. Thank you, Speed Gaming. Of course, both of these runners heading into Portal Gun right about now. This looks like it might end up being a rather interesting race, just because of how close these two runners are in seeding and in time-wise. I don't have the leaderboards pulled up right now, but I believe they are within times of one another. I'm gonna go check that real fast while they are completing Portal Gun. Fox's current PB is a 1 hour 4 minute speedrun mod time, and Jellybra does not have an official time on the leaderboard, so it will be exciting to see him finish out a run here live on stream. Of course, both of them roughly equal through Smooth Jazz, which, I mean, you never see it. You see, Foxer doing the Smooth Jazz vanishing strat that Jellybra is trying to the cube clip here. That works because when you put a portal next to a door, it eliminates the collision from the door for certain objects, which is really just it really helps us complete that chamber really quickly. Of course, it's a trick that we could use in other chambers, and sometimes we do, such as here. You'll notice Jellybra and Fox are both doing portal stands with both themselves and a portal stand with the cube, which they can't exactly control because of gravity. Of course, they both coming out of that. Fox are just a little bit ahead of their coming into the next map where you do exactly the same thing that you did before. 2 portal stands, one with yourself, one with the cube. And then Fox are actually struggling a little bit, Jellybra getting it the second time around. Again, riveting race, watching this. I always like commentating the lower seeded races because there's always so many inventive strats that you can pull together. Of course, Jellybra loading a save from the door and not getting that hop across, so Foxer will be the benefactor in that specific situation. Jellybra really having a rough time with this hop, but gets it. I think that was 4th or 5th try. Of course, both of them struggling with the button glitch here, which that works because if the button is active for 1 tick and 1 tick only, the button will stay in its downwards position and activate whatever door it's attached to. It's the same kind of concept as the laser switch glitch, which again I will talk about later when we actually see it happening. Both of them getting the button glitch at about the same time. Of course, Jellybra now a little bit ahead, heading into Wake Up and heading out of Secret Panel. Fox are having a bit of a rough time, actually going to do the default route, but it doesn't hurt you that much to do the default route here. Of course, it's a couple seconds that Jellybra now has over. But the timers look to be about equal, and so that will be maybe about 15-20 seconds now that Jellybra has on Foxer. I had a race about 2 hours ago on this same channel against the Vug, where unfortunately I lost. I mean, you hate to see it, but it's all, you know, fun and games until someone loses an eye, and it's really hard for someone to lose an eye in Portal 2. This, of course, the Portal 2 speedrun mod, which eliminates a lot of cutscenes and long dialogue, and more notably, elevators. A lot of the elevators here are long, and you have to check for dialogue in the full game. But here you don't really have to do that. Jellybra portaling across, just going to use the collision on these panels to jump right across them. And there is dialogue here that you normally would have to maneuver around in full game, but since this is speedrun mod and dialogue isn't real, we don't have to do that. Jellybra turning the lights on for this laser intro skip, where we can just fling into the doorway, no problem. Having no trouble at all with laser stairs, Cube doesn't fall in any unfortunate positions, and of course doesn't do anything foul in the upcoming test chamber. Of course, this is dual lasers that we'll be performing a laser switch glitch. Of course, looking at this here, you'll see he was pressing against a door, and it opened when he shot another laser. Of course, there are 2 laser receptors in that room. When one of them is active and then the other one gets activated, the first one is activated for about a tick or 2 longer than the laser is on it. And when both of those are activated at the same time, of course, the door opens. The nice thing about the door opening is if you press against it, it doesn't want to squish you. Normally, that door would be open for about a tick. But if you press against it, it doesn't squish you. Same thing happens when we try to optimize doors in the rest of the game. You'll notice Fox is just going for the default route there, but it is worth noting in co-op, the door squishing you is actually an intended mechanic, where you and your friends can delight in squishing each other indoors. But you can't do that in speedrun mod. Whereas Foxer and Jellybra both going for the default route through laser over goo. Not much to say about it. You have to wait for this panel. I think it's if you do a lot of other faster strategies, it feels like the slowest map in the game. It may not be like even time-wise, but it may be the slowest map in the game to some. Chris Jellybra almost flinging himself back into the poisonous goo, but saving himself on that panel here in Trust Flank. Of course, Jellybra going to go into pit flings. There's a new radical strat, which I suppose Jellybra is not going to be doing. He's going to be opting for the jump strat here, where you take the cube and you shoot a portal up top there to get into the upper side of things. Of course, you then take that cube and use the momentum here to help you get it around to the other side. Of course, you'll notice he just hopped all the way to the other side while that panel was going up. That's a little trick that I haven't seen used in a while, but it is extremely useful if you're trying to do a very, very fast run. Heading into Fizzler intro now. Yeah, Jelly had an interesting route. I believe that was seen last in the Snernicus tutorial. But again, to Lethal's point up in the chat, Valve made a good game because so the momentum on slighted surfaces like that just, you know, flings through. I was trying to do the strafe here, but maybe missing, maybe electing not to do one less fling there. But nonetheless, coming around to the other side, getting that portal through. Foxer, of course, going for triple reportal through pit flings. Looks like he's missing a lot of these reportals. getting through together can be a struggle for some runners. But not as well as this. Fox are gonna look for the little. It's not prevalent in most speedrunning circles, but for newer runners, this is a very nice run to learn. You'll notice he just did a button glitch, like the one you saw on Future Starter, on the button in Pit Flings. I do that when I miss triple reportal, and I just and actually the new strat that I was talking about earlier that wasn't triple reportal. There's a new stuck launch. And neither of these runners did it, but it is very interesting to watch in a run. Fox are trying to go for the quick strat there on Fizzler intro, but unfortunately not pulling it off as well as he had hoped. Yes, no, that is definitely a glitchable button. I went and I believe maybe this was pre 100 hours of Portal 2, which seems like such a long time ago now, where the button glitch was found. Of course, the German speed gaming channel has now raided this channel with a party of 28. I would say thank you for the raid, but it's not my stream. That being said, that provides me a really nice segue while Jellybra is doing the default route of Bridge the Gap and Fox is going right back into Catapult intro with his wits about him. Make sure to drink some water, follow the runners and the commentators on Twitch. Both of those links are now in the chat, and you can type those commands !R and !C whenever you feel like, if you really want to have those links immediately and not just when I say them. Jellybra heading into turret intro, doing the quicker portal-based route, of course, instant travel, narrowly escaping that turret, who almost shot him to death. I think one bullet away from actually dying there. Jellybra doing a rather inventive, I think, re-portal strat, something like that. Knocking both of these down, not both those turrets down, and putting the cube on quicker than some default route runners. Fox are doing the default route for Ricochet, missing the portal and the fling that he was looking for. I'm not exactly sure what he's aiming for here, but we will see a more interesting Ricochet run here. Fox are going back up to that top level, and Jellybra going out of whatever level that was because I missed the back end of it, and so I didn't get the audio. Jellybra heading into turret blocker, which means he just finished Bridge the Gap, going for the damage boost here. Looks like he's not going to get it as well as he had hoped. Might get shot to death, might just not get it. Gets it third try. Of course, that if you do it first try is faster than doing a reportal. Doing the reportal strat there, which essentially does the same thing, just to accelerate you onto that upper platform. Fox are heading out of Ricochet, of course, after doing the default route, but nailing that cube throw at the back end of the map. Jellybra heading into Laser vs. Turret, the first of two maps where you pretty much just do what you're supposed to, but fast. Prerogative, there's no real strat for Laser vs. Turret. Of course, not going through that portal is a little bit of a time loss, but not too significant. And of course, finishing it out. Fox are coming out of bridge intro here, and unfortunately dying in the poisonous goo. Game auto saves when you hit that button, but of course going to do a little bit of a slower, safer route outside of jumping over this big old gap and hoping that you survive. Jellybra just coming out of Pull the Rug, another map where you just kind of do what you're supposed to. Again, no real strat other than the CM route where you fling the cube and start going about a half a second earlier. Of course, heading into Column Blocker right now, one of the more infamous maps of the game, though it's more infamous in full game runs. Of course, Jellybra looking to go for that, for the 3-second cube grab. Looks like he's not getting the timing exactly right, but gets it the third try. Fox are heading out of bridge intro right about now, and we'll be going on to bridge the gap in just a second. Jellybra coming into the back end of column blocker, just gonna set that turret on fire, like for something to do, and activating the rest of these receptors. In full game, we have a 30-second time save here, but that is not the case because this is speedrun mod and it makes everything faster. Jellybra, of course, going to go into laser chaining and actually go for a slightly faster strat for that first cube, but otherwise going to look at a default route, or a slightly faster version of the default route going into there. Heading into the second portion of laser chaining, getting both of these receptors activated. Of course, missed the first one, but that was on purpose. Jellybra going for the little bit of a harder fling, but of course gets it. And Fox are ending out Bridge the Gap. Of course, after doing the default route, but again, not that much of a time save if you do it fast, or a time loss rather. Out of that. Jellybra looking for the second laser switch glitch of today's match, where this time there is 3, so we have to wiggle and jiggle our lasers across those 3 laser receptors incredibly fast. Fox are going to actually use the default strat, or not, going to just bypass those 2 turrets and not fling over them, just gonna run past all of them, knock the 3 over around that are guarding that button, and go right into laser relays. Jellybra just hitting into the exciting part of jailbreak. Didn't shoot the portals, but again, that's like 2 or 3 seconds that I would definitely take if I wasn't too confident with those portals. This, of course, is a bunny hopping map. It is worth mentioning, bunny hopping is a really important tool for speedrunners, mainly because it allows us to gain so much speed. And in short, it works because we are air strafing, which gains us a lot of extra speed, and when we jump, as soon as we hit the floor with our scroll wheels, that keeps all the momentum that we gained. Of course, you can go over 300 speed, but it's not, then you can't control your direction, and some people like to go, some people really like to go way above 300 speed to go in a straight line as fast as they can, and then just turn. Jellybra, unfortunately, dying in those turrets, has a really unfortunate save, so it's gonna have to load a second one there. Dealing with those turrets in a rather straightforward manner, but got that portal shot off and won't end out that much time down. So we're heading into laser versus turret as Jellybra comes into the back half of escape. Jellybra will soon be heading into, I believe, turret factory. Those elevators very fast. Didn't get into it immediately, but portaling over makes that just a little bit faster for him. Not going to turn the lights on here, or maybe he is going to turn the lights on here. Very good. So of course, turning the lights on helps you see a lot of these different crevices, because even in full game, it's very dark in here. Wheatley would say it right about now, but it looks like Jellybra doesn't actually have dialogue on. It's also pretty dark in speedrun mod. You can see, but everyone's monitor is different, and so we can just turn the lights on if we feel like, to see all the rails and all the stuff on the walls that's like jutting out. It makes it a lot easier to navigate. Of course, Fox are having a little bit of trouble dealing with pull the rug. I would not trust that cube if I were him, but you know, sometimes that pays off. Of course, that didn't actually work out too well for him. And so he's going to have to do the entirety of pull the rug again. Of course, it is a rather rudimentary map, just like laser versus turret. I also would not trust that cube, so I trust his judgment that he's going for it again. Of course, it looks like he's losing a little bit of time there, more than I think he would have liked, but of course, that is one of the realities of speedrunning this game. Jellybra heading out of the back of Turret Factory, of course, making that big ol' strafe really quickly, and heading into Turret Sabotage. So he's keeping the lights on, and maybe doing the might end up doing a cooler strat than intended, but the intended strat here is also really fast. But that's only speedrun mod, of course. In full game, you do end up doing a really cool looking strat that also got skipped earlier in chapter 1. Foxer in column blocker, actually doing the default route for column blocker. Missing one of those receptors at first, but coming right back around. Jelly, of course, trying to speed wall strafe, doesn't have exactly the right angle. Looks like he is going to go for the intended route here, which is fast, if not the fastest method to do this in speedrun mod. In full game, you do have a bit of a pancake skip. You'll notice that I'll talk about in a second. Maybe Fox will do it. You'll notice Jellybra just did what's called a portal bump. That works on certain doors and thin glass walls, where the game is pretty sure that you can shoot a portal on the other side of that wall if you just fire a portal into another portal in just the right angle. Jellybra, of course, coming through the back end of turret sabotage, still has the lights on, but that's nothing out of the ordinary. Fox are going to go for the faster route through laser chaining. Looks like, but also seems like he defaulted to maybe doing the default route here, since he's knocking that cube all the way down. Gonna do a complete 180, grab that cube again, do another complete 180. Of course, that is because they are epic. He's an epic gamer. And of course he's going to go and portal back over, which is of course the fastest way to do this. Going to destroy all those turrets. Does not look at the explosion because he's a cool guy, and is just going to fling all the way back. At this point, I'm not sure why you wouldn't. I wouldn't fling across, but I would suppose that saves a couple seconds. Jellybra heading into neurotoxin sabotage. Of course, didn't have a lot of time to talk about it last time because I was talking about laser training, but. This map, very cycle based, but it's made a lot faster by the panels that are frequently on the wall. Fox are gonna try and do the cool looking route for triple laser, but not the switch glitch. It will be marginally slower by about 5-6 seconds, but if it opens the door, right? Jellybra heading into core right after passing the 21-minute mark. We'll see if he can get this button skip. Doesn't look like it, but it'll just be 2 or 3 seconds more of time around the back end here. Gonna hop towards this elevator shaft, where normally we would save 2.5 minutes by skipping the elevator in elevator skip, but now we save 2.5 minutes by not doing long fall and just falling down the elevator shaft. Fox are going into the B-hop maps right about now. And again, nothing really interesting to be said about them. It's just it's really movement based, and if you optimize these maps, it can be a major time save if you need to practice your movement in this game. Of course, Jellybra looking to go for the long shot in underground here. Looks like he's gonna go for the slightly easier portal shot, but not actually going to be hitting the portal surface right away. It's gonna take about 7 or 8 tries to do it, but that's all right. It's got the time to do it. Jellybra going to go through and do basically the default route. Looks like he's also gonna go for this big ol' door skip. Where we have tiny door skip earlier in the game, which we conveniently don't have because it's speedrun mod, and then we have big door skip at the end of underground there. Heading into Cave, Johnson still has the lights on, as Foxer is going out of the back of Escape, and just about to go into the behind-the-scenes sections and the turret factory. Jellybra actually looking like he's going to do the Cave Johnson reportal here, where you get scripted momentum, and then you don't have to worry about dealing with that blue gel room. Of course, gets that portal shot off first try. That's the hard part, and just gonna bother with organizing this portal shot. Looks like he got it first try. Excellently done. That's very good work from Jellybra. Yeah, you can see the excitement on his face. Through his mouse movements, he's hype right now. Foxer does not have the lights on through the behind-the-scenes section, still in Turret Factory, and looks like he's gonna get a worse cycle than expected through all of these panels. Jellybra, of course, gonna go for this button stick, but is not going to get it immediately. So just hit that button and go for the regular cube grab. Misses the cube, but that's all right. He of course has the time to deal with it, and he has a portal up there, so it's not even that big a deal. So you can shoot right through this Emancipation Grill. It's rather exciting when you do it. Some runners use that to do cube clip. Of course, this runner not doing cube clip, but looks like he's going to do the older, easier repulsion intro route that does save a little bit of time. Going to look to crouch inside the scaffolding that gets you to the perfect height to go up to the second section without actually grabbing the cube. Gonna get it like third or fourth try there. I'm just gonna crouch all the way up and crouch into here, and of course going up to O2 as fast as possible. Having a bit of a rough time going into back half of turret sabotage here, but looks like it's going to turn out okay. Unfortunately, dying in that section of turret sabotage, of course, there is an autosave right there, so it's not that big of a risk when you do it, but of course there is some inherent risk in doing that strat. Jellybra heading into bomb flings right now. Not sure if he's going to do the cool looking strat. Doesn't look like it right now. Just gonna go for the older fling. Losing about 3 seconds over the really fast strat, but it's easier to do, and it looks like he's having a lot of fun doing it. So I will not hold it against him. Foxer grabbing a regular turret, going through to still the back half of turret sabotage. Putting the turret outside even. Losing a little bit of time there. Jellybra looks like he's going to go for a crazy box strat that's a little bit easier, but still skips the vast majority of the room that he's in right now, and will just go straight up to the room up above at O3. Fortunately, missing that jump, gonna have to place his portal a little bit higher than he had it, but it'll work out. Finally turning the lights off so we can see what the game actually looks like. Of course, crouching through that portal uses a couple triggers. I'm not exactly sure how it works, and I know I got sent a video and I forgot to watch it on why exactly that works. Of course, Jellybra looks like he has his funneling on, or he came in at too shallow of an angle there. This trick, of course, works because when you have portal funneling off, you can go in and out of portals at very strange angles. Basically, when you have funneling on, it is just 90 and 90. You just come out at straight lines pretty much. But with funneling off, you can come out at 45-degree angles. You can come out at ridiculous angles, which enables us to do that kind of trick. Foxer heading into what looks like neurotoxin sabotage right now, and would be going into Tube Ride pretty soon, but unfortunately we don't have Tube Ride. It's one of the break points in any good Portal 2 runner's Twitch stream, where you read donations, or you play your instrument, or you find a harmonica and start playing sad tunes on it. Of course, everyone's Tube Ride is different, but when you're playing Speedrun mod, no one has a Tube Ride, and so they're all the same. Jellybra, of course, going for the easier version of Potato Skip, which is just as fast, if not faster, than the regular fling. Looks like he's going to be going for, at the very least, the portal shot, the long portal shot here first, and may actually be looking for the more interesting reportal off the back end. There is a strategy where you can use the gel to kind of do half default route, half free portal. That's the one I do. Foxer, of course, heading down the shaft and into underground right now, but Jellybra making that velocity seem like no big deal. Of course, heading into prop flings here. We've never seen a good prop flings from any runner in this tournament. Of course, I kid, that's satire, but it is seemingly a map with nothing but problems. But it is a rather rudimentary strat once you learn it. Looks like Fox are actually going to do the default strat for underground here. Not even going to bother with a long shot. Jellybra almost getting launched off to the side and a little bit too far up, but manages to do it right away. While we wait for Fox to get to the rest of underground, that strat you just saw from Jellybra, that is multiple blue gel bounces at one time. Fox are not even bothering with the slower version, with the faster version of the strat, just gonna bunny hop all the way down, and it looks like he's gonna bunny hop all the way down this corridor as well, which is understandable if you're not comfortable with that long shot. Jellybra looks like he's gonna go for stair hop for the second try here, and looks like he gets it second try. Of course, that saves the entire orange gel room. There is a more interesting super reportal called Lemon Skip. Of course, because it essentially skips the entirety of conversion intro here, which Jellybra is going to come into. I'd be surprised if it did the reportal, but I have been surprised by slower runners before. And of course, this slower runner actually looks like he's on pace with some of my PBs. So I have some new competition. Looks like he's gonna go for the very cool looking fling route. I don't see this a lot, but it's really cool when you see it. So I'll just let it speak for itself. Jellybra, of course, not getting the fling right immediately. Maybe he's not getting enough momentum out of that, out of his strafe. But you just go straight up, and there's no problem at all. Fox are heading up the elevator in Cave Johnson as both our runners cross the 30-minute mark. Gonna get stuck on a railing for and clip right through it. I've not seen that. I didn't know you could do that, but you know, new things for everyone today. Jellybra gonna go for the hop over the elevator and gets it. Which is gonna go to one side and try to strafe, but that diagonal surface eluding him. Not getting that shot off the way he'd like to. But heading into 3 gels under 31 minutes. Fox are heading into repulsion intro. Of course, this is another really interesting map. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone who got a good repulsion intro. Gonna try and go for that button stick, but didn't get it. Seemed to have strafed a little bit too far. Looks like he's gonna have to have 2 hops to get to that button, but that's again pretty okay. The button, that cube not staying on the button, unfortunately. You gotta put it on the center to make sure that it's still there. Gonna shoot right through the grate here, like we said. Jellybra successfully doing a stuck launch here. Unfortunately landing on that little platform, so he does have to hop a little bit to the other side. But it is a lot more optimal here to take the elevator. You can do tube bounce, and I think it is marginally faster by about 2 to 3 seconds. So if you're pretty sure it's if 2 to 3 seconds is a big deal to you, you can do tube bounce. But going up the elevator, at least in this mode, in normal speedrun mode, is pretty fast and pretty close to the time that it takes to do tube bounce. Which works because there's blue gel in that tube. I won't go into detail for explaining it unless Foxer does it. Of course, Jellybra heading into Chapter 8 now, which is a run-killing chapter. It has its moments, it has its hard strategies, and it also has crouch fly, which is one of the most versatile tricks in the game. Sometimes I use it to thwart single-player maps that they never thought I would be able to beat really easily, but then they just left the door open, and they have funnel in it. Jellybra, of course, heading into the back half of Test, one of the easier maps in the game, but you can't let it fool you. Chapter 8 is a really hard chapter if you're just learning the strategies. Foxer looks like he's doing the default route bomb flings. Looks like he's having an interesting time with it, and again, I won't hold it against him. Looks like he's combining a couple of interesting strategies. Jellybra heading out of test and heading into the first theoretical crouch fly map, assuming he goes and gets crouch fly, which it looks like he will. That cube headed on his way down. He is gonna have to go up through that funnel, but instead chooses to reload a save. Not the route I would have taken, but certainly an inventive one that doesn't lose that much time. Gonna go through that funnel, not gonna lose that much off it, but gonna reload that save again. Of course, he has time. Fox are doing the default route through Crazy Box, and that's like a minute alone that he has on Foxer right now. Bit of trouble, but nonetheless pulling it off, fourth or fifth try. Again, there's really no reason to distrust the time here. And of course, just try to get that cube to that button as fast as possible. The frustration in Jellybra's mouse movements clearly visible. As Fox is still doing the default route Crazy Box, trying to deal with Gel through the cube. Of course, the Gel unfortunately getting on that cube the second try around, and he's gonna have to go and get water on it again. Jellybra going for a slightly faster version of this strafe, but missing it a couple times. Walking off the button backwards to get that walking momentum. Of course, stepping down, going down with the cube because you can only change your Y level with level geometry or objects that you like drop on your head. So you'll see if something goes wrong, you may see Jellybra here going for some cube dropping on head action. This strat, a rather interesting one, just gonna portal right over for again instant travel. That is the point of portals, really. And doing the rest of wall button, no problem. And it looks like he's gonna go for that cube throw, the safer cube throw, which only loses you about a half a second, and it's really easy to do. Foxer, of course, heading into the back end of Potatoes, where this fling is, you know, it's really fun to do. But we don't get to do it in full game. Jellybra just flying right across, and you'll notice he doesn't have crouch fly anymore because he touched that funnel. Which is the only way to lose crouch fly. But now he's gonna be bunny hopping for the next couple maps, and then he's gonna get crouch fly again later in the match. It actually looks like he's gonna do the default route for. He's gonna do the default route for. What's the map called? Propulsion intro? Propulsion fling? Something like that? Propulsion intro? I don't know. When is Jellybra actually looking to do great shot right now, narrowly escaping the fling, pressing that button, of course, and getting it the second time. That strafe earlier, rather dangerous and rather interesting. Yes, man. Fox are still having a little bit of trouble with the gel strafe on this end of the room. Actually having a lot of trouble getting into the other side of the room. Getting to the bottom portion of that. But I've not seen this default route done in a long time. Jellybra notably not making a save there. Pretty dangerous stuff to do, so he's just gonna wait to die from there. Save there nonetheless. The auto save works fine. Gotta just do a hop through that portal. Fox are just ending out Repulsion intro. Of course, you could get a secret achievement here if you wanted to, but this is a speed gaming race. So default route, very fast we'll have to do. Jelly, of course, gonna go for getting crouch fly one more time. Simple and easy to do. Of course, I say easy. It's actually pretty complicated to do, but it seems like it will be no problem for Jellybra, who just does it first try, and is going to go over to the other side of the room for the little bit of a safer downwards momentum. Of course, bonking his head on that pipe, because again, you can't change your Y velocity, or Y value, rather, with just that. Foxer finally finishing out prop intro pop, and we'll be going into prop flings right about now. Might also be doing the prop flings default route. Jellybra doing laser platform. Of course, this map infinitely easier when you have crouch fly, because then you don't have to wait for this platform and you can just shoot and grab this cube. Grab it, pressing that button twice, because it is incredibly difficult, especially for newer runners, to get that first cube, because it requires some pretty intense strafing. Foxer looks like he is doing the default route for prop flings. Of course, a lot of route improvements could be done, but again, we will not be holding against him. Jellybra actually going to go looking to go for the fling here, the prop catch fling, which yeets you across this gorge. Of course, you do have to have funneling off, because you have to go into that portal at a very strange angle. Doesn't seem like it worked that time. Of course, could happen to anyone. Doesn't look like he gets to the optimal bounce either. Gets a third bounce off, and looks like he's going flying, but actually missed it, unfortunately, the third time. Fox are going through the orange and white room, I suppose, for conversion intro. Not seen in a run, of course. Jellybra crossing the 40-minute mark inside of this funnel, getting crouch fly for this. Of course, gonna lose crouch fly because of the upcoming strats that we need to do, because the funnels go 50,000 miles an hour, and it's just easier to deal with the funnel and get crouch fly later in Finale 2. I assume that he'll be doing that route, so I'll put that in more detail later. Fox are heading to the back half of conversion intro after doing the intended route through the through that chamber. Of course, that stair hop that you saw Jellybra do earlier skips that entire room, and you saw how long that took. And it's really it's just one simple strategy. Fox are not replacing that portal, but figuring it out pretty soon here. Not precisely sure where he's going with this, but might be aiming for the intended route as well here, or maybe aiming for the very, very cool looking fling route. Not sure exactly what he does here. Jellybra getting a bit of a stair hop on the back end, kind of losing control, but of course regaining it immediately afterwards. Heading into the back half of Finale 2, where he's going to get crouch fly again, because we need it for the rest of the map to evade the turrets, and again, skip about a minute or two of battleship style turret grabbing, the likes of which we haven't seen in ages. Jellybra getting the crouch fly here. Absolutely no problem. Dealing a little bit with going a little bit farther than he needs to, but doing a cool 360 to show they did it. And then Fox are going to head into 3 gels as Jellybra heads out of the hard part of Finale 2, so to speak. Of course, there is a whole section here where you would have to battleship the turrets and, you know, find where they are with gel blobs and whatever, and have them fall down on the floor. At this rate, I would not be surprised if Foxer did that later in the round, so we may be able to see precisely how long that takes. Foxer doing a full fling down on 3 gels, and actually might be doing the default route as well here, as Jellybra heads into Finale 3 and into here. Looks like he didn't get slow fly. I don't know what the deal is, but sometimes you can get slow fly by touching the door frame of that other door. Of course, I have lost runs to the chair on the floor there, because if you stand on the chair and strafe off of it, the chair moves and no longer has a Y value at the position that you came off of. So it's lucky if you stand on that chair and are able to regain your run. I've soft locked there before. Looks like Foxer is going to finish out the default route of 3 gels here. Right as Jellybra heads into Finale 4 on 43:24 pace. Of course, the actual pace of the run unclear, since we don't have the full timer from Jellybra, but it remains to be seen, really. Not sure how his PB is right now, but looks like it might be okay, because his time is green and it doesn't look like he's that far behind. Of course, Foxer still going through the default route 3 gels. It really just goes to show how fast the stuck launch is in 3 gels and how much you can save here. So turning the lights on for a split second. Just waiting for the bombs to arrive. Gonna get the second core Rick the Adventure Sphere. I always wondered why he's called a sphere and not a core. If anyone can answer that, I would love to know. Because it's the fact core and like the weekly core, but it's the Adventure Sphere. Unfortunately, missing Wheatley a couple of times. Jellybra is with that third round of bombs. Sorry. Looks like it's gonna end up turning out just fine for him, though. Oh, bonking off of Wheatley, how unfortunate to see. But getting the fact core on nonetheless. Looks like he's gonna go for a decent time. And gonna look to go for the early moonshot portal. Not sure if he's gonna do early moonshot. Kind of shooting portals to his own beat here. But we'll see. Jellybra just showing up in chat, where we will see what time he got. We'll see in the match setup. Jellybra, if you could post your time in match setup, looks like 43, 45, 35, 45, which is a really nice time to say. Although, unfortunately, not a PB, judging by the color of that. That is a really fun time to say, and I think you should be proud of it. I will be switching audio to Foxer's, and then we'll check at the end of this if we want to do a second match. We'll see as Foxer heads into the back half of test here. Doesn't look like there's a lot audible here. Not precisely sure if that's me or if that's something else in the stream entirely. Judging by what I just saw, M Sushi change his stream title to, we may have just live on this stream, we may have just seen a new Portal 2 speedrun mod record pop up on stream here. It seems like I don't exactly have audio for Foxer. But that being said, yep, new Portal 2 speedrun mod world record now belongs to M Sushi 100. Really good run. M Sushi relaunching the mod, of course, but it's groundbreaking news that we have a new world record just as we're in this. Of course, Jellybra winning this segment. Jellybra, if you could post your time and match setup, that'd be spectacular. And then if you want to join me for comms, or a post race interview, that'd be great. Foxer, of course, doing a pretty interesting wall button strat here. He's doing okay. We'll check commentary Discord. Going on over there. Otherwise, Foxer pretty much heading out to default route wall button. Although looks like it's just gonna go for a couple of crouch flies. Doesn't actually get it the first time or the second time. Having a little bit of trouble with that crouch fly, and pretty interesting strat here. Not sure precisely what he's gonna end up doing here. Looks like he's gonna miss that portal entirely, but going to fling himself up, I suppose. And gonna go for that cube throw, but kind of flinging himself around in the process. Of course, gonna do the rest of these maps without crouch fly. Pretty interesting to see what exactly he's doing here as he crosses the 50-minute mark. Looks like he's going for the default route on for repulsion polarity here. And with that, I welcome our newest champion, Jellybra, to the live on air commentary room. What's going on?
Not much.
How is that run?
I feel bad for
decent?
doing so many routes that he doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I messed up a bunch of big things, which I know I can PB off of.
All right. Yeah. No, that's nice. How much time did you have at the end of the? What was your difference?
My difference was like a minute and 23 seconds. So I definitely I got rid of a minute time loss somewhere around in that run. So I definitely improved that. But I can't believe, at the beginning of Chapter 8, I messed up so hard. I forgot to save, halfway through the chamber, and then I restarted, 7 times.
Nice. We just regained audio for Foxer back on the stream. Looks like he's going to do a pretty quick default route, funnel catch, which, doesn't it crash a bunch on funnel catch?
I've crashed about 4 times on funnel catch.
Really? I've never had that happen.
It's only when I save, so if I if I just first try it,
Speaking of funnel catch, I liked your great shot workaround. It's different than a lot of stuff I've seen.
Where you jump in the portal? And,
yeah, it was just a more interesting fling than I was seeing. That I see from other runs.
I saw that from you know AJ?
Sure you're solving these correctly. I mean, yes, you solved it, but I'm wondering
Because his girlfriend
maybe
came
there's
up
a
with
number of ways to solve them,
that I was
and
watching.
you're picking all the worst ways. No, that was the solution.
I did not
What
know
am I
that.
missing?
I just saw it and I thought I would go for it.
That's pretty cool. Fox are of course heading into
Wait. I'm gonna tape you solving
what is this,
these,
catapult intro?
and then watch
Not catapult
10
intro.
words. Get a more sort of
Laser
concentrated
catapult.
burst
There
of
it is.
science.
Looks like he's gonna aim for the ceiling crouch. Not the ceiling crouch fly. This is an interesting CFG strat from seeing from Foxer here. Not precisely sure what's going on, and actually, he looks like he's gonna have to do that again because he fell out of the funnel the first time.
Is he gonna float over and shoot the portal?
Actually, looking like he's gonna do default route here. Fun to watch. I've not seen default route done here for a while.
I don't think I know most of the default routes for any of the maps anymore.
I store them in the back of my head, like, just in case. Because like there's always like the possibility of like what if I accidentally soft lock with the good one, but I can still do the default one. Looks like he is gonna finish out default route here, just waiting for that panel to show up.
Oh, you just solved it, didn't you? I told you to tell me.
Right as this timer crosses the 54-minute mark, looks like he will be going into laser platform without crouch fly, which means we are going to see a default route laser platform as well.
Was self-destructing.
I wonder if he's gonna do crouch fly on the next map.
Programmed in one last tremor for all time's sake.
Wait.
One or two more tremors in there.
These are really interesting strats to see. I
I'm not a monster.
haven't seen anything like them.
Keep on testing.
Deciding to look at a button while he's waiting for this platform to go across to the other side. Of course, doing default route has its perks. You do get the luxury of being able to carry a cube around.
Such a simpler time. Or well, I don't know. Some of the routes seem a lot easier than intended sometimes.
Well, yeah, but they're slower. I mean, speed gaming, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's not a miss I've seen before, like, ever. Unfortunately, not actually hitting the,
Did he save?
not going into the portal. There's an autosave at the back end of that, but, unfortunately, just going out of that funnel twice in a row now.
Might as well, give you the tour. To your left, you'll see some lights of some kind. Don't know what they do.
Is he gonna do?
To your right, something huge.
Can you do a crouch fly in the back end of that?
Turn the beam off.
No, but I think there's a where your screen goes darkened.
Oh yeah,
blind.
what's it called? Chocolate milkshake?
Getting a test
Yeah.
ready for you.
It's a little fun strat. I've been meaning to like learn it, but it's like 10 seconds of time save that I can't get consistent for the life of me.
I don't think I could do it. I'm like really bad at blind running stuff. Which is pretty funny because I sped around a game called Ink, and that's basically the premise.
Very interesting. Foxer using some pretty wide strafes. Looks like he actually went over 300 speed, and so is not going to be able to control his character quite as well, but makes it to the end nonetheless. Of course, going to head into Repulsion Polarity here, and we'll see if he actually uses Crouch Fly through finales 1 through 4. Or rather 2 through 4, because we lose it at the end of Repulsion Polarity.
Only 3 more chambers to your big surprise.
I wish I knew the angle for that crouch fly strat, because I've been doing the other one, and I'm not very consistent at it.
The Finale 2 one?
No, the what's that called? Or is it prop catch?
Repulsion
Yeah.
polarity?
No, the map that he was just on.
It was just on. Prop catch, yeah.
Yeah, because I do the ball strafe into that portal.
Yeah. I liked the I always like watching people do the fling on the back end. I just think it's
hard,
like really
man.
interesting to watch. But is it hard? I mean,
it's hard for me. I'm very inconsistent at it.
Foxer, really embracing the default route lifestyle. As he's finishing up default route repulsion polarity here, which means likely no
Oh, you solved it? Good.
likely
Good
no
one.
crouch fly through Finale 2.
So, he's inexplicably happy all of a sudden, even though he should be going out of his mind.
Does he
I'll bet you're
does he
both
talk with anyone in the
dying
community?
to know what your
I'm
big
actually
surprise
friends with him,
is.
yeah.
Well, only 2 more chambers.
Nice. Have you taught him any bucks?
I
Or is he
tried.
just like going
Surprise!
blind.
We're doing it now.
Tried. I kind of let him do his own route exploration. If he feels the need to get faster, then he will. I think he's just playing the game for fun, really. And I mean, aren't we all, right? I mean, that's the point, is the fun. Looks like he's gonna go through the default route, Finale 1.
Okay,
But,
look, I've decided I'm not gonna kill you.
You know, that's what you're supposed to do, at least in the speedrun mod.
Just thinking back to the old times, the old
We
days
will
when
we will check towards the end if Foxer actually wants to do a second match. Would you be up for a second match?
Yeah, I can do a second match.
All right, we'll check with him and we'll see if that happens. Until then, we'll see how he finishes out. Of course, during Finale 2 here, in all likelihood, his timer going to cross the 1 hour mark. Of course, his PBA 104.30. So not sure how far ahead he is or how far behind he is.
Was that your bullet, Riddle Buddy, flying out the room? It was
He's on Finale
Those were the
2.
crap turrets, weren't they?
I mean,
Well, no matter, because
Maybe.
I'm still holding all the cards. And guess what?
depends on if he crouch flies too.
Nah,
Oh,
doesn't look like he's crouch flying here.
and foolish.
Looks like he's gonna go through the whole Holmes versus Moriarty sequence.
Well, good. Finally, a nemesis worthy of my vast intellect. Holmes versus Moriarty.
Aristotle versus Mashy Spike Plate.
Still, please. Alright, stop moving.
Fox's timer crossing the 1 hour mark, which is Speed Gaming 2's hourly reminder. Drink some water. Follow the runners and the commentators on Twitch. Make sure you follow them everywhere they can be found, including socials everywhere, far and wide. Wherever you can find the names. Of course, Foxer is going to do this battleship-esque strat where he tries to geolocate the turrets based on this position on the wall, where you kind of have to guess based on how it lands. So this is gonna take a little bit of time, but it does kind of create a waterfall effect once you get a couple of them bouncing around.
I have no recollection of beating this game normally. This is so surreal watching, like...
The
all
only
the
reason
intended
that I think I
strats.
remember beating it normally is because I have video of doing what I called average percent at the time, was no strats, no bunny hopping, just do it as fast as you can, and it was like a 204.
Crashing's too good for him. First, he'll spend a year in the incinerator. Year 2, cryogenic refrigeration.
I wonder what you could get at Speedrun mod.
Years in the chamber I built.
Probably, that's probably a solid 120 speedrun mod.
And I'll kill him.
Of course, you're gonna go through Finale 3 default as well because it doesn't have the crouch fly, which makes it somewhat easier in the back end, but not that much easier. Of course, I saw Spida missed his crouch fly the other day, and Spida's solution was to just bunny hop down the way instead of dealing with the orange gel. Of course, Fox are going to wait for the orange gel instead of bunny hopping down the way, which is understandable if you're not that confident with your bunny hops. Of course, coming through the back end, probably going to end up spraying gel all over the floor, like default route, and we'll see what he does finale 4. But this interesting fling, we'll see if he gets stuck in the funnel again. Looks like he does, and looks like he unfortunately dies again, finale 3. The evident frustration in Fox's mouse movements, like you can see it visually. Of course, this is why it's important that we use quick saves. It just illustrates the importance, really. I mean, you can save right here. Wouldn't even lose that much time.
Binds?
What?
Does he have quick save binds?
Everyone does. I mean, it's F6 and F7 by default. Do you have anything different?
Oh yeah, I have it on my mouse buttons.
Sure. Yeah, I have a mouse button for F6 and a mouse button for F7. I just haven't. I never changed the keys themselves.
Yeah, I even have a backup that's on V.
I did
like,
notice a couple times you
auto-load.
were loading quick 01.
Yeah, that's just for when I mess up a save, because
Yeah.
I do that often.
Very cool. To have around. Looks like Fox are going to end up in a not portal covered surface in finale 4, which means he's gonna have to wait for another bomb cycle and putting his portals in a pretty strange spot for having the bombs drop on Wheatley. Of course, progressing slowly but surely through finale 4, dealing with debris in the way, the space core, and neglecting to bounce on the gel that's conveniently provided.
Core connection at 50%.
Of course, gonna jump all the way back, looking for bombs to hit the second time. Gets the second round first try. Of course, not gonna do bomb preserve.
I haven't seen anyone get bomb preserve yet.
Does bomb preserve, does that like save time, do you think, in speedrun mode, or do you think it doesn't?
I have no idea.
I'm sure we could figure it out.
I haven't seen anyone doing the speedrun mod yet.
That's interesting. Of course, Fox are looking to go for the little bit of the gel run here. To go get the fact core.
William Shakespeare did not exist. His plays were.
Warning. Core corruption at 100%.
Again, do not know why it's called an adventure sphere and not an adventure core.
Please press the stalemate resolution.
Have never found that one out.
Do not press that button.
Wow, he was shooting that live. I can't believe he hit.
Booby trap the stalemate button. What? Are you still alive? You are joking. You have got.
It's a run.
One run, looking at 106.01.28. We're gonna see in just a second. First of all, the incredible credits song, but also we're gonna see if Foxer elects to do a second match. Fox has relegated the decision to you, Jelly. Second match, or do you think saving 20 minutes on his side is
it is
lost
possible that I might get like a 56, but I think I'm good for the day for runs.
Okay.
So if he says that he doesn't want, or like it's up to me, then I don't really want to do another run. Is he gonna come into comp?
We will soon see. I gotta bump up. And
Well,
give
for
it
me to do
to
that.
here. And so that's 2 points for Jellybra, of course. That next match going to be between you and let's see where the next match for Jellybra is after we welcome our friend, our compatriot, Foxer __. To the Twitch
yes.
chat.
Yeah,
How's it
that
going?
was it was an interesting run. I messed up way early, especially in pit flings. I don't really want to talk about pit flings. That was
we don't talk
really
about
messed up.
pit flings? That's alright.
Yeah, I missed the reportals for so long. So I gave up on triple and went for the button glitch that you showed me earlier. You know, when I started this whole thing.
Of course, actually, this race, an interesting one, because the winner of this race would have gone on to go against Josh or Doodle, who vanished due to unforeseen circumstances, and so it will result in an instant win when that gets run through. So then they will be up against the winner of match 44, which will be the loser of 28 versus Richard. That being said, Foxer, so you said you messed up way early. Do you have like a pinpoint moment where you think that happened, or?
When I started. Just it was just all bad downhill slope. Just looking at my splits, if I actually pull them up, I just erased them all. Oh well. Yeah, it was mainly just adding time. By the end of chapter 1, it was like plus 20 something, plus 30 something. A lot of it's that I don't know very much, and
Sure.
Well, I just play to play. That would be fun
As
to.
long as you're having fun, dude.
Fun, right?
I mean, dying wasn't fun. I think I died total of upwards of 8 times, maybe.
Well, then I mean, you get a deathless run in. That's your PB right there.
I already had those. I don't think I'll get too much faster than the 104 that I hit, unless I, actually hit Ricochet one of these days.
Well, I mean, nothing holding you back from learning new strats. Of course, the resources online are free. With that, I think we have not a lot more to say. We can totally wrap up this episode. Is there anything you two want to say? Any last words?
Not really.
I hope I don't get destroyed in my next race.
Yeah, good luck.
Dude, I will watch for it on the commentary schedule, and I will make sure I watch it.
Yeah, this was a really fun thing to try out. Thanks to Base Driven for basically making me sign up.
You're welcome. And of course, there's always next year. I assume there's going to be an annual tournament for the 10th anniversary. But with that, I think it's time to sign off. Make sure to follow the runners, the commentators on Twitch. Make sure to follow, especially me, on Spotify, SoundCloud, anywhere socials can be found. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. Anywhere you want to find me, you probably can. But with that, we bid you farewell. Thank you, Speed Gaming 2. We'll see you next time.
Yes.